Stand by for Bwana.org radio. In 3, 2, 1. Cue the announcer.
You found Bwana.org radio, your one source for tech news and reviews. Now, almost live from sunny Florida, here's your host, Bwana McCall.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to episode 215 of Bwana.org radio. We got a great show lined up for you. It's going to be a quick show. Only 6 stories to talk about tonight. Been a crazy day. Last night was Modern Warfare 2 midnight release, and I went and picked it up, did some things, streamed some live stuff, had some fun with the chat room. But on top of that, I had a lot of stuff to do at work today, so it's been a crazy day, and I'm actually starting the show a little bit late tonight. So if you come here at live.bwana.tv or justin.tv/Bwana, you probably have noticed that we're starting late. Yeah, it's about 10 p.m. But you know how we do. We try to be on time, but when real life kicks in, sometimes you just have to go with it, man. You got to go with the flow. Before I continue, I got a great announcement, guys. My audio podcast is one thing, but I do have a video podcast called Bwana.tv. Bwana.tv was nominated for Podcast Award over at podcastawards.com for the for the tech. Yeah, he can't even talk, and he has a Podcast Award nomination. What kind of guy is this? What's going on? Tech science category, amongst the juggernauts like Security Now, Floss Weekly, GeekBrief.tv, Mike Tech Show, SDR News. Big shows, and I'm just honored to be mentioned in the same sentence as those. So, voting's going to go on between November 13th through November 30th. So, if you guys feel that I am worthy of this wonderful podcast award, go over to podcastawards.com between the dates of November 13th and November 30th. You can't go today. All right, you got to wait until I think voting starts this Friday and runs through the Thanksgiving holiday and ends on November 30th. Vote for your favorite shows. Don't just vote for tech science. Check out the other shows, the other podcasts. Great bunch of categories they have over there at podcastawards.com. So check that out. Now, before I continue, let me talk about my sponsor, which is GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting allows you to share your desktop screen. And that's a great thing to do in this day and age when you need to save money on travel, when you need to be able to continue a conversation on the phone, or if you're having a conference call, you want to put a visual element to it. All you have to do is send a link to someone, say here's a GoToMeeting link, and boom, your meeting occurs online. What does that mean? It means that they see what you see. It's as if you're in the same room. So if you have a presentation, you have a slide show. Some people don't like slides, so some people like straight demonstrations. Some people like videos. You can do some low-level video stuff, not really complicated. But it travels over the internet. That means you don't have to get in the plane. You don't have to get on a train. You don't have to get in an automobile. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about spending money, man, because that's going to save you a lot of money by conducting that meeting from your home office or from your sales office or somewhere where you have an internet connection. Anybody in the world, all you have to do is send them a link. So if you want to give them a try, go to gotomeeting.com/techpodcast. You can get a free 30-day trial. That's gotomeeting.com/techpodcast. We got a great show lined up for episode 215 of Bwana.org radio.
It's time for Bwana.org radio's tech news for this week.
And for our first story, we're going to go straight into the PlayStation 3 realm. Somebody just did something crazy, and that's the only way I can describe it. I saw it and I didn't believe it. They dipped the PS3 in gold. They dipped a PS3 in gold. Gold-plated PS3. Yeah, dipped in 24 karat gold. Colorware is making 5 limited edition PS3 systems that have been dipped in 24 karat gold. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, if you love your PS3 that much, I don't know if you should get it gold plated. That's just somebody comes in your house and go, hey, do you have an alarm system here? You wouldn't happen to have any window sensors, do ya? I like that gold PS3 under, it's just asking to get stolen, man. That's just, I I don't know. I guess if you're into that kind of bling, that superb, stupendous bling, everybody check out my PlayStation 3. It's covered in 24 karat gold. Yours isn't, mine is. Be envious and bow amongst my golden PS3. Hey, some people think like that, but yeah. This was over on joystick.com. Gold dipped PlayStation 3. I don't have much else to say about that other than wow. Next story has to do with Google, and Google is doing us a favor, especially around the Thanksgiving holiday and the Christmas holiday and Hanukkah and all the other holidays this time of year. A lot of us do traveling. We get on a plane. We do a lot of traveling, and as a former traveler, I was on the road like 8 days a week for like 2 or 3 years straight. So I understand the hustle and bustle of going through different airports and, layovers and missed flights and mechanical issues. And, you spend a lot of time in the airport terminal. Now, a lot of times these terminals don't have internet connections. If you have an internet connection, you can read news, you can listen to Buona.org radio, or you can watch Buona.tv, or you can do all kinds of things to pass the time and make it a little bit less seamless. But the Wi-Fi, sometimes they charge for it. And it's like not $10 a day. And it's like, man, I'll just sit here and be bored. Forget that. I don't need internet that bad, But Google's doing us a favor. They're offering free Wi-Fi in select airports until January 15th, 2010. So if you're going to be traveling, there's going to be a lot of airports out there. It's not everywhere. They've selected a bunch of different airports. They're going to be offering free Wi-Fi. Now, like I said, some airports do have free Wi-Fi, although they limit to what you can do. Some do, but there are others out there who don't. So if you're in an airport terminal, and you want to get on the internet to pass time, or you want to check on flights, or you want to do things that requires internet access and you don't want to pay for it, it's good news to know that Google's going to be fessing up the prices or whatever they're doing here for free Wi-Fi during the holidays, so that when you get your travel on, you can pass your time on the internet listening to Buona.org radio. So check this out. This one's over on slashgear.com. They got the details over there. Speaking of free internet, one of my places I like to go to work sometimes, I haven't been there in a while, but I go to Panera Bread. It's a chain of, I don't want to call it a restaurant. It's almost like a deli slash bakery slash shop. And they encourage you to just come there and chill. This is one of those places where they don't push you out the door if you sit there for 8 hours straight. And I used to get a lot of work done. I used to just buy one bagel and a glass of water and be there all day. And there's a Starbucks even across the way. I would go to the Starbucks, get coffee, and come back there, and they wouldn't care, Very, very cool. So they offer free Wi-Fi there. While we're on the free Wi-Fi topic, they offer free Wi-Fi, and they're, right now, according to this article on TechCrunch, they're blocking links from the URL shortening service Bitly, bit.ly, which is the default URL shortener for Twitter. And the reason that they're doing this is that they want to keep their internet family friendly. According to this tweet that's listed from Panera Bread, they said that they blocked the Bitly links because they're hidden and they can't determine content. They want to keep it family friendly for all. So guys out there who are building Twitter apps, guys out there who are doing this type of programming stuff around Twitter and Bitly, here's an opportunity to go in and consult at Panera Bread, because they're not aware that Bitly does have an API where you can expose the links, where you can, screen the links. You can, it'll literally be probably 12 lines of code to do this, to put on their back end and say, okay, check this link for a list of bad sites, resolve the link, check it for a list of bad sites. If it doesn't match, go. Else, block. That'll be $500, please. It's going to be a real simple solution. But, I respect Panera Bread's their intent here is that they want to do want to keep it family friendly, and there are malicious people out there who put malware behind Bitly, although Bitly does have some built-in stuff to block that stuff as well. But this is an opportunity, guys. It's if you're in that market to code that stuff, call Panera Bread and say, hey guys, heard you had some issues with Bitly and your links and blocking. Let let me show you something. You know, you walk them through the stuff and program it for it. But it's kind of a downer if you're using Panera a lot and you rely on Bitly a lot on Twitter and they're all blocked. So check this out. This one's over on TechCrunch.com. They got the details over there.
You're listening to Bawana.org Radio, a potpourri of tech news and reviews.
Often I get asked about free Photoshop options, free Photoshop alternatives. A lot of people just can't afford Photoshop Elements and even the Mac tools on Pixelmator, and they just don't want to pay that much. So they ask me, what are some free options? You think about GIMP, photo manipulation tools, the GNU image manipulation project, which is called GIMP. But one that was introduced to me, I forgot who introduced it to me, but it was about 2 years ago. Someone introduced me to a program called Paint.net, and it's a Windows freeware program, which really, really impressed me. I mean, I used to teach Photoshop, guys. In college, I taught Photoshop 4.0 and 5.0. I taught the public. I taught a bunch of classes at our computer labs in college. So I was very versed in it. I don't know how to use it anymore now, but I could do the basics. But I was really, really surprised that this thing was that flexible, and it was free, and it was lightweight. It was such a small installation. It was tiny, it was fast, and it wasn't your typical Windows software that people complain about as being, boring. It was actually pretty good. Paint.net's getting a big release update, according to this article. This one's over on, I don't even have it up yet. Yeah, I do. This was over on lifehacker.com, and they put in the headline that they released a big update, and it's still a killer Photoshop alternative, and I absolutely concur. I absolutely agree. Yes, Lifehacker, I agree. And it has a rich plugin framework, so you can write your own plugins, much like Photoshop. It comes with a bunch of built-in effects and blurs and distortions, and it's really, you got to give it a try. It's free. If you're on a Mac, throw it on a VMware image or one of the freeware imaging tools out there. A bunch of them out there. Throw it on an image. You can play with it there. It's something that you really should have in your toolbox because it's really small, really powerful, and it's been updated to support Aero and other features of Windows 7, Windows Vista as well. It's updated its look, probably got new widgets and stuff like that, and to utilize the new features of .NET. Check it out. Over on lifehacker.com, they got the details about the new Paint.net update. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this show, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out last night with much fanfare. I mean, I was watching the live stream from New York City. It was a Microsoft event, guys. It was blatant. It was just so blatant. Microsoft, we were joking because they had like DJs and celebrities there, and we were joking. The only thing missing was Bill Gates dancing on top of a disco ball in the middle of it. It was so blatant, and I was just like, "Wow!" And it was surprising to me when I saw this story that that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was actually going to GIMP the Xbox 360 version in the form of party chat. And I was like, "Wow!" I thought those guys were in bed with Microsoft. I didn't think they would do that. So, you guys know what party chat is. You start a party on the 360, and you can chat with different individuals across games. So a lot of people use party chat. Well, they're disabling party chat in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This article on MTV Multiplayer lists some alternatives, to party chat, and they tell you to go to Xbox.com, do some privacy settings, and do some friends-only stuff, and this should alleviate some of the issues that you would have with the party chat issue. I haven't tried this. I don't understand why they would do it. I don't even see a benefit. I don't know. I guess if the other person was on the other team, maybe they can, cheat. That would be the only way. But I thought if you're in the same party, they would force you to be on the same team. I don't know. Maybe they found some exploits we don't know about, we don't see on our end. But I'm not going to question it. They did it. I was surprised, but here's an alternative to get around it. I don't know if it works, but I read about it, and I figured I'd share it with you guys so you can check it out. And finally, we're going to end tonight. Like I said, it's a short show. We're going to end tonight for those of you who decided to jailbreak your iPhone and you install SSH on it. SSH is a secure shell, and it's part of the open SSL product set on Linux and different Unities and Mac OS 10, even Windows. And it allows you to remote into machines. We used to call it Telnet. A bunch of different things you can do with us, SSH, secure copy, and stuff like that. So on the iPhone, SSH was a way to get on the phone from a terminal. And you can actually SSH into your phone from your Mac or from your Windows machine and actually execute commands. Well, every iPhone has a default password. And, a lot of people would install SSH and wouldn't change that password. Oh, well, somebody took advantage of that. There is now a worm which takes advantage of that exploit. Since people don't want to change their password, they will Rickroll your iPhone. That's right. The code itself it scans the 3G IP range, the AT&T IP range that the phone is on, and then it goes through the other people, Optus, Vodafone, Telstra, and it gets a random IP range, and then people they just hit this worm hits these things and spreads this Rickroll worm. It's actually kind of funny, but it's actually kind of sad at the same time. This was created by the hacker going by the name of iKey. It will change your home screen background to Rick Astley. you basically get your iPhone Rickrolled, guys. That's what happens. And this is something to prompt you to change your password, because he could have did something really malicious. I mean, like delete all your contacts, steal your contacts. I don't know, take some sensitive information. You might have a password program. He might get the password file and actually crack it, get your banking password or something like that. A lot of different stuff they can do. But over here on 2all.com, they give you instructions on how to change your password. It's very easy, guys. I'm a Unix guy. It's one command. Literally, it is one. They look at terminal, they go,
I get squeamish when I see terminal. I don't want to type in terminal commands. Where's the window? Where?
It's really easy, guys. If you're gonna jailbreak your iPhone and you're gonna install SSH, you need to learn how to do stuff like this, or otherwise just unjailbreak the phone right now. You're gonna get Rickrolled. That's what's gonna happen. Check this out over on 2all.com. And that concludes episode 215 of BDOR Radio. I want to thank y'all for coming by, listening, stopping by. We're at 17 minutes. Wow, I didn't think we'd go this long. Like I said, we started late tonight over at live.bwana.tv. We usually do this around 8:30 p.m. But like I said, today was wild. Crazy day. And we do it Tuesday and Thursday nights. And Monday and Friday nights, we try to do videos like around 7 p.m. Although lately, I haven't been doing them on Friday as much. So I might change my schedule around. I might do I don't know, we might do something fun on Friday instead of a show. Because I'm usually here. I'm usually broadcasting, but I'm not usually recording videos. And that's that. Before I go, let me talk about my final sponsor, which is Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com right now and look at the some of the sites that they have listed there as reference sites. And you can see that they look very professional. What's good to know is that Squarespace gives you the tool set to create stuff just like that. Literally just like that. Without any knowledge of HTML or CSS or any programming languages or any knowledge of graphic programs like Paint.net I talked about earlier. If you don't want to deal with all that, go to squarespace.com, see what they have available. The default templates look that good, and you can move stuff around, drag and drop, no knowledge of code or anything. And they have a great cloud technology over there, and they utilize multiple servers so that if you do get dug on Dig, or you go TechCrunch, or you write a blog post that everybody loves, they'll be able to scale up, and you won't have a problem like, somebody's site got dug, it's down, blah blah blah. They've been able to withstand heavy traffic with their cloud setup over there at Squarespace.com. Free 14-day trial, no credit card required at all, guys. Go over there and check it out. And if you decide to stick around after that 14 days, use the code BWANA when you check out, and you'll save 10% on the life of the account. Also, guys, again, I want to remind you, go vote at Podcast Awards November 13th to November 30th. Going to be a lively voting event. I'm in the tech science category for Bwana.tv, which is my video podcast. And if you're curious, like,
Bwana, I didn't know you had a video podcast. I thought you only had this radio thing. I didn't know that.
Go over to Bwana.tv. Check out the videos I got over there. Or you can go to youtube.com/IOBuffa. That's IOBUFFA. You get the same content. Even I got a little bit more stuff on YouTube, just gaming videos and stuff that I just throw up there that I've created. And you can check that out. All right, folks. That concludes episode 215 of Bwana.org Radio. and I will see you next time.